All right, greetings and welcome to our initial podcast. This is the Six Man Podcast where we talk about everything Cowboys and everything in between. We're gonna jump off and just come out with some introductions. We introduce ourselves. I'll start off. My name is David Hackney. I am the director of athletics for Durham Public Schools, former coach uh, and administrator, and glad to be here. I'll pass it off to Rod.
Rodney Ellis, glad to be here, man. Drop dump trucks, first choice debris hauling, former teacher, former coach. Greetings, everybody.
Speedy.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Keith Speedy Torrance. I've been working for Coca-Cola for 34 years. I'm a former coach at McNair High School here in Atlanta, Georgia, and Creekside Christian Academy. If you can believe that. Yeah, I coached at a Christian Academy.
All right, Kobe.
Hey, greetings and salutations. This is Kobe Joyner, aka Podcast Security, aka the Tech Guy. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the invite. Um, Currently, I work at Wake Tech Community College. I serve as department head of network and computer technologies there, and I'm a former coach, former collegiate and high school basketball player, and excited to be here.
All right, E.
Hey, I'm Eric Valans. I go by Easy. Um, I currently work at UNC Hospitals. I've been there for 23 years as a Modes technician. I also am a current defensive line coach at Orange High School in Hillsborough, North Carolina.
All right, and last but not least, Kev.
All right, Kevin Roberts. Greetings, pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me. Former high school, college basketball player, coached a little bit, and currently working at Contour Brands. We design, manufacture Lee and Wrangler jeans and Rockin' Republic.
All right, appreciate y'all, fellas. And look, ladies and gentlemen, those you watching, we are average, ordinary people, as you can see. The opinions expressed today did not necessarily reflect the positions that we hold out in the community. So please do not go back to our employers saying that we did something foul on their behalf because we did not. We're average guys that have strong opinions about our Cowboys, um, and whether we agree or disagree and all those different things. We love our Cowboys, and that's the main thing. But we are friends. We get along. We enjoy talking football and Cowboys. So we decided just to, hey, let's put this together and let's have some fun with it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna have a conversation. We're gonna talk about some topics. Um, you know, and we ask you now. Look, we're gonna put this stuff out there. Don't come back with the nasty comments. Like we get, everyone has an opinion, and we all have an opinion, but we're gonna talk about it. We're just gonna have some discussions because we feel some kind of way about our Cowboys right now. So we're gonna jump right in. And our first question, and fellas, feel free. Whoever wants to speak first, speak first. I'm just gonna make sure that we stay on time. But anyway, should we, you know, Dak Prescott, Dak Prescott. Yeah, I don't think I need to say anymore. Right now, currently, he will hit the salary cap. We will take a salary cap hit of 59 million if he doesn't uh, sign an extension or get traded. And so everybody has an opinion about Dak Prescott. We're going to talk about this and we're going to jump right into it. Should the Cowboys look to trade Dak, considering the possible cap hit, or should we extend him?
So I have a question before anybody answers. Doesn't he have a no trade clause?
Yes, he does.
Yes.
But that no trade clause only mean that he can go to a team that he of his liking. So I mean, he still can get traded.
Okay.
Yeah, he has the
Yeah.
final say on all trades. So if
Okay,
they
come on, let's
offer up
go.
a trade,
Let's go.
yeah. All right, so whoever, man, y'all go ahead. Who's
Go ahead,
first?
E.
Y'all go ahead.
You had your question. Go ahead.
I I'm torn. And I will say the reason I'm torn is because outside of rushing, realistically off numbers, he should have won an MVP. Now let's just keep it a buck. His numbers were better than Lamar's. But at the same time, I'm tired of playoff Dak. I love regular season Dak, but I'm tired of playoff Dak. And I feel like it's time for a change. It's time for a change of scenery. So, and he may go somewhere else and be lights out. But you all know there's a lot of pressure that comes with playing quarterback in Dallas. We all know that. So I think it's time for him to go.
Okay. All right.
I have a love hate relationship with Dak. To piggyback on what he said, regular season Dak is all right with me, man. Playoff Dak gets on my nerves. He annoys me just like he does with Eric, man. Like he said, he may need a change of scenery to get to what he needs to get to, and he may thrive in a change of scenery. There's only been two quarterbacks in Cowboys history to handle the pressure of being the Cowboys quarterback. Troy Aikman was one, and Roger Staubach was the other. So do we extend him? If we extend him, does it save us any money to add the pieces around him that's needed? That's my question. I don't know what that even looks like, or if Jerry Jones would even bring pieces in to extend him or not, So
That's
I'm
a whole nother topic about bringing pieces. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's another topic, another discussion. But other than that, man, I don't know. Like he said, he had a great year this year, but playoff Dak just annoys me.
Yeah, I think kind of like you, Rod, love-hate relationship. I kind of compare my relationship with him that I had with Danny White, even though Danny White did take us to some NFC Championship games, but
Danny White.
he couldn't get us over the hump. But I mean, if we extend Dak, I think it will give us some wiggle room to put pieces around, but I'm on the fence. I'm almost willing to ride out the $59 million cap hit and roll with the pieces we have. And either he gets it done or he doesn't.
Well, I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm tired of that. I mean, it's been 8 years. 8 years.
How you really feel?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you
Exactly. It's been 8 years going on 9, and it's the same thing every year. I mean, we pour our hearts into the Cowboys. I mean, we thinking it's our year, and then just like against Green Bay, I mean, not only him. I mean, it's bigger than him, but I mean, he's the leader of the Cowboys. And when we think of the Cowboys, it's Dak Prescott. So I mean, I'm just ready to get rid of him. I mean, we got Trey Lance. Hey, just give Trey a chance. I mean, because Dak has. I mean, he has to produce for us. And I mean, it's been 28, 29 years since we've been to a Super Bowl. I mean, it's time, fellas. Hell, I don't want to be dead and gone before we get to another Super Bowl. I mean, I want to.
I'm starting to think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I want to brag and boast because I think out of all of it, I probably talk the most junk out of anyone. So I probably get it the most because I mean, I talk junk to everyone about my Cowboys, but I mean, and then I get it back because of course we don't have playoff success. So I mean, I'm just tired of him. I'm ready for him to go. I think he need a change of scenery. I think that Cowboy pressure is too much for him. I mean, how can you and CD has 135 catches the year, and then against Green Bay, then y'all it's a disconnect. I mean that stuff like that just puzzles me. But yeah, I'm ready for him to go.
So you think he hit his ceiling?
No doubt. It's been 8 years. I mean, how many more years are we gonna get? I mean, if this is Romo, they was killing Romo. Romo this, Romo that. I mean, it's same with Dak. He needs to go.
But Romo didn't have the talent that Dak has. So
I was about to say the same thing. Romo didn't have this talent.
I agree. I mean, it just. I mean, you guys know, y'all coaches. I mean, it's a ceiling to everything. I mean, you reach that ceiling. I mean, it's just like with my college team when I was at Winston-Salem State. We was a powerhouse in football. But now, man, they at the bottom of the conference now. They're homecoming game now. But I mean, I think he's just reached his ceiling.
Well, here's what I'll say. When you look at competitive football teams that are consistently successful, they're always in the playoffs. They have two modalities. It's either they got an exceptional player at quarterback, i.e., Mahomes or Allen or Lamar. Don't make that face, Rodney. Or they've got a young quarterback who gives the team competent quarterback play, and the organization is able to allocate resources to other parts of the team to make that team exceptional. I think if you look at the Houston Texans with CJ Stroud, they're about to blow up because they don't have to pay him anything. He's on his rookie deal, and they're going to be able to build around him to have a squad that's going to be very formidable. I think we missed our window with Dak when he was inexpensive. That was our opportunity to build around him and have a playoff championship contending team. I think at this point, all things are on the table and have to be considered. So I'm not a Dak hater. I know people label me as much. I root for the guy. I think what's important, if we keep him, I know you, Speedy. I know that you are. I think if we keep him, that it's really important that the organization is bringing in quality talent. I think I heard one of the pundits say Dallas will never have as much talent as it has right now because that contract does impact what we do in free agency in terms of bringing quality players in. We're going to lose good players after we extend him. So and we all don't have faith in the organization as far as management and bringing in folks that can help us win. So I think it's a catch-22. I think we're stuck in this cycle of being pretty good. Like we're always going to finish first or second in the division, probably make the playoffs, and then it's going to be on Dak. And we've gotten history as what that looks like. So that's where I stand.
Hey, Kobe, you brought up a great point about when Dak should have signed that contract when Carson Wentz when Carson Wentz signed that contract. Dak basically should have signed the same contract that Carson Wentz signed that year.
Yeah, but see,
So that was a great thing.
It was. The problem was Jerry dragged his feet and signed it, though. We could have had Dak
Exactly.
we could have had Dak in probably the $30 million range.
That's yeah, exactly. I agree. But he waited though. Jerry Jones waited.
Jerry waited, man. So we could have had him in the $30 million range, man. So
and then he waited, and then the market went up. So yeah.
Was it Jerry or was it Steven?
Well, it's both. I mean,
right. Who's running?
At the end of the day, don't get it twisted. Jerry controlled things. Don't get it twisted now. That's Jerry.
And he told you. He said you can say what you want to. He said the final pen is in my hand.
Exactly.
He said that publicly, man. And with the Cowboys, man, it's always a yeah but with us, you know, and it's maddening for us as former coaches. It's maddening for us as fans. It's a yeah but. The Cowboys defense is good, yeah, but Dak Prescott is doing really well in the regular season, yeah, but you know, so it's always one of those situations where we're waiting for the final shoe to drop. You know, so what does that look like? So like Kobe said, it's a catch-22 in a situation with Dak, man. If we extend him, does that save us enough money to add pieces? But $59 million is a lot of money on the books moving forward, man. We need another receiver. We need a number one running back. We need linebackers. We need some O-linemen. It's just a lot of stuff that we need. So it's one of those things where if we extend it, does it save us some money, and are we going to add pieces that we need?
No, but that's
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Y'all know how I feel about Jerry Jones. And I'm not wishing nothing bad on that man. I just feel like the Cowboys will not sniff a Super Bowl until they're shoveling dirt over Jerry Jones. As long as here's the thing. Jerry Jones only cares about being in the black. That's all he cares about. So as long as he has faithful fans like us who buy the hats, who buy the T-shirts, who go to the games. Exactly. long as at the end of the day he making money and people like us are talking about the Cowboys, he's happy. They're relevant and they're winning. They're not winning at all, but they're being competitive, and that's all Jerry Jones cares about. And it irks my soul. Just
Now
like
that,
Speedy,
now that's for a different conversation because
It
we
is.
can talk about this all day long because that gets into the culture,
Ooh, you
and
said the
that's
C word.
and guess what? And that right there, that's a whole conversation. Like our whole podcast is gonna be dedicated to that. We're not even gonna break it up in segments. We're just gonna talk about cowboy culture.
Oh my
Um,
God.
but
Yeah.
but with that being said, with that, we all seen in the media. We got CD's mom making comments. We got Michael Parsons' brother making comments. We got everyone else making comments.
Dak's
And
brother.
Dak's brother making comments. And we got all kinds of stuff going on. And then just yesterday, we're seeing the podcast, Michael's podcast, and him and CD on there. And they low-key throwing shade at one another on the podcast. So the next topic that I want to discuss is what is the current state of the Cowboy locker room? Like, I don't think this is real. I mean, it's you hear it talked about on shows like Get Up in different places. But in your humble opinion, what is the current state of the Cowboy locker room? Because to me, just me speaking, just after hearing some of the stuff, I personally don't think they like each other. I mean, I'm just honest. Like I've just never. I got teammates. I've had teammates at every level, and never have thrown out. No, did we all get along? No. That just comes with it because we have different personalities. But I just don't publicly throw shade, or never threw shade at my teammates publicly, or it's just a mess. But I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and chime in on that.
It's a shit show. Let's call it what it is. It's a shit show. And the reason I say that is because those family members made those comments. For those family members to make those comments, the players have made those comments around the family members. And the family members are comfortable enough to say, okay, you know what? If this is how my son, this is how my brother feels. Out of pocket. Out of pocket. Family should not say anything. The locker room it's just a bunch of professional cats who play football. There's no camaraderie. There's no team. There's no leadership. In a nutshell.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Cole. You good?
I think E hit it on the head. You got 52 business brands in that locker room. And it's really reflective of how we are in our society, especially this generation of folks. Remember, we got young players in that locker room. And it's not, to me, a whole lot of leadership where you got wily vets that are stepping up and holding people accountable and getting people stuff about their behavior and what's said. It's really a bunch of folks that are really concerned about their personal image, what they've got going on, their social media likes, and them promoting their own professional brand. And we hope that we win. That's like secondary. Winning is secondary. Even Micah talked about on this podcast. The first thing he brought up was him and CD getting max deals. What does that got to do with us winning? Right? Nothing. So that should be the total conversation is how can we get better? What can we do to improve? Where do we need to work on getting better for next year so that we don't see the same results that we've seen the last few years?
I agree. I agree with you totally, Kobe. You said a big word, accountability. As you know, man, these NFL players, I mean, just not with the Cowboys, like on all of them, these guys they're close friends. They take vacations together. They mess with the same chicks. I mean, that's
That's
A whole
that's
nother
what
podcast.
That is true. But
I
that
mean
is
that's
true
but
though.
that
That's true. I can't that truth. But that is for another podcast. But that's true
yeah.
though.
But that's what they do. I mean, they're not gonna hold each other accountable because they value their friendship. They are friends, and that's why I know Rodney didn't like the hiring, but I kind of like the hiring of Mike Zimmer. That's gonna be someone who's gonna come on there on the defensive side, and hopefully he put Parson ass back in linebacker where he needs to be. All right, put him back in linebacker, and then we go from there. But it starts from the top. I mean, just like you guys said, it starts from Jerry Jones, then Stephen Jones, then McCarthy, then Mike Zimmer, because the players they're not gonna do it. I mean, they're not gonna do it. They friends. They're not gonna do it. It's not like when we played football. When we messed up, I mean, shoot, we had to be held accountable. It's not like that anymore. These guys are friends and they value their friendship.
Like he said, man. Like he said, it's a shit show in the locker room, and he put it a lot nicer than I would have called it. I would have called it something different than that, but that's neither here nor there. I agree with everything everybody's saying, man. They don't. It's not only that they don't like each other, they don't respect each other at all. And we can go back to look at the clip from practice last year when Trayvon Diggs said what he said to Dak Prescott, and no one checked him on it. Not a coach, not a
Fighting
player.
words.
Dude, you supposed to get
Fighting
smacked in
words.
the mouth for that. He's supposed to get smacked in the mouth for that.
Fighting
We
words.
boys, we boys, but that's not what you're here to call him. You know what I'm saying? He should
You
have
can say a
smacked
lot
him.
of things to me, but that's one where, like, as a grown man, as a grown black man, you
Man, no.
don't do that. You don't do
You
that.
don't do that. So there's no respect. So then you talk about the leadership in the locker room. Who's the leader of the Dallas Cowboys? I asked that question on our page, and a lot of times, y'all know me, I'll say something on the page to start something. I was dead serious when I asked the question, who is the undisputed leader of the Dallas Cowboys? We don't have one. Look at the two teams that's playing the Super Bowl now. I'm willing to bet you that Trent Williams is the undisputed leader of the San Francisco 49ers.
No, Debo.
Debo, Trent Williams, pick one.
No, I agree. I agree with you, Rod. I think it's Trent Williams. I do think it's Trent Williams.
Trent Williams, Debo, pick one. Then on the Chiefs, Mahomes, Kelsey, Chris Jones, pick one. We do not have a leader on our entire roster. You would think it would be Zach Martin, but Zach Martin doesn't talk. You would think it would be Tyron Smith, but Tyron Smith doesn't talk. DeMarcus Lawrence's legs are tired, so we know he's not the leader.
That's
So
we're exhausted.
so it's-
I don't even believe that comment that he made. I think that's I think that was a fluff comment. He wasn't trying to throw people under the bus. I think that's a BS comment because
It's definitely BS comment, and I feel the same way, Kev. Like
you've heard him in the past. He's not one to really bite his tongue, and that's kind of a BS response that he gave.
Well, so why did he give that BS comment? I mean, so why? Because that's what I'm saying. He's trying to. They all friends. He don't want to hurt no one's feelings.
that
Yeah.
part.
That's it.
I mean, I think he understood the platform too, and it goes back to what we were talking about one time before. Trying to keep that within the locker room, and maybe he just didn't want to say anything to keep it within, in the house.
Well, I do believe in that. What goes on in the locker room, or as we call it, in that room, in our room, it stays in that room. I mean, I do believe in that. But with social media the way it is, and these guys in the locker room doing TikTok and on Instagram, I mean, unfortunately, it's not like that anymore.
Well, listening to everyone, the question still comes down to who do we have leaders? You can't put this on one person. Do we have leaders in our locker room?
No.
And we don't have, we don't have those guys. We don't have the type of leaders or the type of guys with that type of mentality. Are you willing to hold each other accountable? Are you willing to lay it on the line and make sure that everyone has a clear understanding of what's in front of you? Now, one thing D-Law did say in there that I thought made perfect sense. He said, "Hey, we're the Dallas Cowboys. Every game we play is a Super Bowl." And when I heard it, I had to think about it, but it makes sense because week in and week out, we've heard on various media outlets, this is the biggest game for the Cowboys for whatever reason. Like, can we win on the road? Can we win our division? Can we beat so and so? Like, can't we didn't beat anybody that had a winning record. We went a while having not beaten anyone with a winning record. And so every game was the biggest game of the season. And so, but if that is the case, and you know that coming in, who leads that? Who leads the charge on that? Who gets everyone in the best place mentally to be able to go out and play week in and week out? And Dak is nice. He's a nice guy. He says all the right things at the podium, but is he motivating guys to play? Does he motivate guys to play? Does he elevate the level of everyone around him? And who do we have in our locker room that does that?
Nobody.
No one. Nobody. Because we don't have anybody on the sidelines or the front office that are going to do it. It resonates.
That the video that we watched the other day where Emmett and Irvin are talking and they're on the plane and Jimmy and they're talking and Jimmy Johnson goes back and like, one more person say another word, you cut before the plane lands. And everybody, the superstars were looking at each other like that. But see, that is leadership. That is having a demand or command of your locker room. And we haven't had that in a very long time. When is the last time we've had that? That y'all can remember?
Bill Parcells, maybe?
Yeah.
Did Parcells have that?
I don't know if Parcells had that.
Maybe.
No. I think Parcells had it. Yeah, I think Parcells had it.
That's why he was shown the road. Because he had it.
Right.
No, Parcells, he was shown the road because he had that old ass quarterback. He had a fossil at quarterback.
Who was the quarterback?
Bledsoe, wasn't it?
Bledsoe.
No,
yeah.
He went through Quincy Carter. He went through a whole bunch of quarterbacks. Yeah.
Bledsoe, and then he finally, that's when he finally started. Romo.
He settled on Romo. Yep.
Yeah.
And then Bill Parcells, he also made the statement. He said, "If you want me to cook the food, you got to let me buy some groceries."
That's right.
Yeah. Well, that was with New England right there.
Mm-hmm. He said the same thing about Jerry.
That's what Jerry Glenn. Yeah. But I mean, I agree. It's been a long time since we had that dog in the locker room. It's been a long time.
So sidebar question. If you and put your GM hat on, we're not gonna take a lot of time with this, but if you put your GM hat on, what do you do to address the leadership problem in the locker room if you had it right now? If you had the authority of GM for the Dallas Cowboys right now, what do you do to address the leadership problem in your locker room?
I mean, the obvious thing is
Go ahead, Ron.
You find a leader somewhere. So, Philly's looking to trade Hassan Reddick. I mean, is he really a leader at Philly? He's we do need a linebacker.
I think to piggyback on what Kevin just hit on. So you look at your position of need. You need some D tackles. You find a veteran D tackle is going to come in, produce, and do his thing. I read yesterday that Zimmer is going to make some changes. Zimmer likes big D tackles. Y'all know I love fat kids. Go out and find a fat kid in the middle to do his thing in a better presence. He also mentioned. They also mentioned what I was reading yesterday, bringing in Eric Kendricks. You got to bring in those type of guys as leaders that can try to change the culture a little bit of the locker room. I want to see Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's work ethic alone would probably light some fire in people. I'm surprised that Gilmore. I'm surprised Gilmore isn't more vocal. From a leadership standpoint,
he's a quiet guy, man.
I'm surprised by that. So from a GM standpoint, man, you got to go out and you got to spend some money, man. You got to get some veteran presence in the locker room because we all know we have a very young roster. So you got to bring those type of guys in. veteran presence type of guys. You got to.
Look, either
Derrick
you
Jones
go
don't
get
do
them,
that, though.
yeah, either you go get them or you grow them. And I know with the Jones family, they're hoping that Parsons grows into a leader and becomes the man because they're going to pay him. They're going to make him the richest defensive player in the league. This is what, year 4 for him coming up. So you hope that he turns into that type of player where he's holding folks accountable instead of just worrying about, what he's doing. But we haven't shown the desire to go out and bring those people into the locker room. So based off our managerial history, they're hoping Parsons turns into that guy.
You can't turn into a leader. I don't feel like you can turn into a leader. I feel like that's just something
That's in you.
it's in you. Like it's just like having speed. You know what I'm saying? I'm slow. I'm always gonna be slow when it comes to running. You know what I'm saying? But somebody with speed, if they born with it, you're just born to be a leader. You know what I'm saying? So just because you bring veterans in, that doesn't make them a leader. You know what I'm saying? A veteran presence. It starts at the top, man. And once again, that's a whole nother podcast. But it starts at the top. Yeah.
That's C word again.
We always know it. We
Yeah.
know it. We can sit here and bite our tongues and because we'll go on a tangent, but it starts at the top. And I use the 49ers as an example. Look at John Lynch. John Lynch was a dog when he played, an absolute dog. And he has filled that roster with a bunch of dogs.
Yep.
And that's why they about to play at 6:30 today. And we're going to be watching them.
You can even look at what the Rams did 2 years ago. The Rams said, you know what the hell with these picks? Let's go get us some ball players. And they went and got ball players, man. So it's, once again, it's that C word that we'll talk about later on.
And you know what's interesting?
Go ahead.
Everybody thought the Rams were going to fall off, after that window closed. They right back in the playoffs.
Exactly.
They right back in the playoffs. After giving up all those picks, they got their ship, they got their trophy, and they right back in the playoffs. See, we don't think outside the box. We're stuck in this paradigm where we're just going to do things like we've been doing them back in the 90s and hope that they work. Man, you got to look outside the box and be creative.
We are cheap. We're cheap. We are cheap.
I agree.
Like we don't want to spend any. Well, I mean, they ain't our money, but he don't want to spend no money. Like he don't want to spend money, and that's the bottom line.
We got burned with Brandon Carr.
Oh,
$50 million.
After that, good God.
We've been burned a couple of times. What was a wide receiver?
Oh, that he traded for Roy Williams.
Roy Williams.
Oh God,
got burned by him too.
Roy Williams. Roy Williams was awful.
Roy Williams, Terry Glenn,
Terry Glenn did his thing now.
Yeah, Terry Glenn did his thing.
Terry Glenn played.
Terry Glenn did his thing.
He
Yeah.
played.
But I'm saying,
But that Roy Williams was awful.
we can name players, man, for years and years and years that once they got paid, they do nothing. What was 19's name, sweetie? Miles something another.
Miles Austin.
Miles Austin.
Come on, man.
No, Miles Austin started messing with Kardashian. That was the end of it.
I was about to say that. Hey, bro, you start messing with the Kardashians, your career is going down a damn drain.
It's a wrap,
Yeah.
boy. It's a wrap.
Think about it. We complained when Jerry was spending money, and then they turned out to be bums, and we didn't have anything. And now we complaining when we ain't not spending money.
Jerry goes out,
Catch 22, man.
these guys past their prime,
That far.
and backs the damn Brinks truck up to him and say, "Hey, take this Brinks truck and come relive your good years." That's the problem. He's not going to get any players that are in their prime.
But then another part of that too, Kev, is who's the football mind that's making these decisions.
True.
Like we don't have a football mind, so he's spending money on people that if he had an actual football mind and they're making a decision, they'd be like, hell no, I'm not paying Roy Williams that kind of money. Are you crazy? Like, have you seen him? He hasn't produced. So we need football minds. Like, and that's the whole problem. We don't have football minds. And so until we do that, that's he's gonna continue to waste money, or he's gonna make dumb decisions. Like hey, Coop, like Coop. I was one
Hey.
like thinking that we were gonna be on the better end of that thing, but letting Coop go was stupid. Like you let him go. Like yes, I said it was dumb. He shouldn't have let him go, but he did, and so it's like somebody has to be in his ear, and or he's got to relinquish that and let football minds come in and make sound decisions.
His ego would allow him to do that.
That ain't gonna happen.
Hey, but to go back on your question, Coach, I mean, Rodney hit on it about a veteran presence. I mean, I agree. I would like to see Derrick Henry in that backfield. I think he bring that work ethic, but I think I'm not really concerned about our D tackles. I think we have some good D tackles. I think our issue on defense is our damn linebackers, and I really do. I think
We
we
don't
need a
have it.
veteran. I think we need a veteran presence, someone like Brad Wagner, someone like that who's gonna come. You know that dude led the NFL in tackles this year. How many years he been playing? Dude, he led the league in tackles. But I think we need someone like that, Fred Warner, who is a dog. I mean, we need someone in that middle that's just nasty, just nasty.
Go get
Coming
Patrick.
down here,
Go
don't
get
give.
Patrick.
Go ahead, E.
So you bring that veteran presence in, and he's supposed to be that guy, that dog. But if he's coming into a country club environment, then what?
Woo. Country Club City.
And
Country Club City.
And that was what I was talking about the other day when he posted in the text group how Mike Zimmer was fired up on the sidelines. Looks good on paper, looks good at the movie theater. But Jerry Jones and the
I mean, we can sit here, and talk about country club, but it has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to start somewhere. Someone has to break that mentality, that country club life that we live in. Someone has to come in there and break that mentality.
Hypothetical question. First day of training camp, Mike Zimmer has Micah at Mike linebacker. And Michael gives pushback. Zimmer jumps him. Hey, you can't do this, X, Y, Z. I'm the D coordinator. Word gets you back up to boss man. And boss man take his chopper down to the field and be like, hey, Mike is my guy. You can't yell at him like that. Then what?
I don't.
Boss man gonna be down there.
Yeah.
First of all, Boston's gonna be on the side.
Okay, Boss man pulls him to the side. Hey, Mike, you might want to go a little light on Micah today. Can't have that, man.
But yes, sir. And then continue to yell. Getting his ass.
Right.
How about yes, sir? Bring your ass over here. Let's go.
You got to get his ass, and you have to ignore Jerry Jones and coach. Do the thing that he's.
How you gonna ignore the man signing your paycheck?
I appreciate that.
Right. So it's a catch-22.
I'm not disagreeing with what y'all are saying. I'm just looking at it from both sides. I'm playing devil's advocate.
Right.
I understand what you're saying, E, but I mean,
I agree with y'all 1,000%.
Someone has to come in and break that because what we have now is not working. It's not working.
I think the biggest question that we have to ask is, are we willing to bring in that type of person? Just like Stephen Jones went publicly and said that he didn't like that style of coaching, that in-your-face type of coaching. Do we have the type of ownership that really wants to bring in that we haven't had true dogs or people with true attitude since the 90s? And I think that's on purpose. I think you had egos such as Irvin, as Aikman,
Eric Williams.
Eric Williams. You had Haley. You had those guys that had a definite attitude and approach to the game that was different. And I think they had, I hate to say it, other than Jimmy Johnson, other coaches came in, had zero control of that locker room because of those personalities. And I think they have purposely not tried to load the roster with those type of personalities anymore, because that means that's that's a level of control that they no longer have. Like right now, they have set the tone for the culture, and the culture is crap. But no one is going to say that to the people that sign the checks. They're not going to say it. And Michael Parsons even said it yesterday. And said, I'm going to take accountability. We got to step up. We got to do that. That's all well and good. That's nice to hear. That is nice to hear. But you're the same person that did not want to play linebacker, and your buddy, the D coordinator, wasn't going to make you play linebacker. So
Absolutely.
now your buddy is gone to Washington, and now it's you. So now you're gonna say all the right things because Mike Zimmer is going to make you play linebacker.
Yeah.
So it's the matter of if they're willing. But look, we can talk about this. We got a lot more to get into in terms of the podcast, so we're gonna save some for a little bit later. But lastly, we got this game at 6:30.
Hey,
we got this game at 6:30.
Super Bowl should be a national holiday. Let me just throw that out.
It really should be, and everybody should have a day off. Monday should be a day off for everybody. That should be a national holiday. Super Bowl Monday, where everyone just gets a chance to get over being hungover and everything else. But today, we got that team that we despise. And then we got that other team that I just don't like either way. So they asked me who I'm going for. I said I'm going for the Cowboys, although we sitting on the couch.
You hope to get in the top.
So who do y'all have today, and what do you think it's going to take for them to get over the top?
So I'll go. I'm gonna roll with Kansas City, and this is petty, but I just don't want San Fran to get 6 before we get 6. So I'm gonna roll with.
It's all right, man. Be petty. Be petty. We can be petty over here.
I'm gonna roll with Kansas City. Mahomes is way better than Purdy. And Spags has their defense rolling. So I think they're going to give San Fran a handful today.
To add on the Cavs pettiness, man, I don't want anybody to have more rings than we do, period. So with that, man, on a serious note,
it's already two teams. It's already two teams, Rod, to have more rings.
Yeah. Right. So I don't like this. So let's get that out of the way.
New England and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I don't like this.
New England has 5.
New England has 6.
Yeah, and Brady has all of them.
Okay.
So anyway, I can't bet against Patrick Mahomes. That's just me. I can't bet against that guy. He's done it too many times. We've seen it too many times. Now, with his guard being out, Joe Tooney being out, that could be a problem. I think what San Fran's going to do, like Kev said, Spank has the defense on. The defense is a lot better than people think it is. Chris Jones is an absolute problem in the middle of that defense. So what I think Kansas City does is they minimalize San Fran's run game.
What was that word?
Right?
Minimalize?
That was
Minimize.
a word, Rodney. Not a word.
Minimalize. Let me look
Not a word. Minimalize. Right. You graduated from too good of a university. You use that word. Minimalize.
Yeah.
See, I wasn't gonna say nothing. Kobe puts you on. He didn't let it go. I'm gonna wait till the podcast is over.
I'm an educator.
Right,
I can't let it go. Minimalize.
It is a word now. It is a word.
It's a word. It's a word.
I stand corrected. My bad.
It's a word. You just used it the wrong way. But go ahead.
It's a word.
I apologize. My bad.
So listen, they minimize the running game of San Fran, and they turn Purdy into a pass. Has Purdy made plays in the playoffs? Yeah, he has. But I think Kansas City's defense is better, and Chris Jones is going to be an absolute problem and a difference making the game. So I think Kansas City wins.
The definition of minimalize is to reduce or keep to a minimum.
Come on, baby.
That's not bad. I'm in the when I'm wrong. That's not bad.
Hey, Rod, you okay? He saved you, bro.
Man, cut it out, Rodney. Cut it out. Cut it out, Rodney.
Write that down.
Hey, man, quit trying to use them big words, man. You don't know nothing about, man.
Yeah, you know what SAT word. words.
On paper, I feel like the 49ers win. Just on paper. I'm pulling for Kansas City. I think Pacheco is a dog when you give him the ball.
Ooh.
That defense, Kansas City defense, is better than a lot of people think.
Yeah.
And Mahomes has found a receiver in Rice. So I feel like if they can hold McCaffrey under 100 yards rushing, they'll win. I just don't want to see Taylor Swift. That's a podcast in itself.
Yeah,
well, you're going to see her. You're going to see her.
I know it. I know it. Hey, I need y'all old asses not to be getting up at halftime and trying to dance with Usher. That's what I need y'all not to do.
Oh my God.
Here's how much tequila I've
Don't pull a hamstring.
Well,
I'm
I'm gonna be.
ready to just Patty Mahomes. I can't do it.
Well, I'm gonna be petty because I mean, I hate the 49ers. I mean, I hate them with a passion. I don't want them to get 6 rings. We already have 2 teams that have 6 rings. But I'm just like what Ronnie said when the Chiefs faced the Ravens. I just can't bet against Mahomes. I mean, he just that guy. He's him, as Deion said. He's him.
Mama, they know that man.
Exactly. So I just can't bet against Mahomes. So Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs Kingdom.
So I told y'all weeks
Heck,
ago.
who you got?
No, go ahead, Kobe. I'll pull up out there.
So I told y'all weeks ago San Fran was going to be playing today. I don't know if y'all remember that, but
yeah, you did. You did, Kobe.
They got the best roster in football to me, or at least
that's
top
why I said
2
on paper
with the Ravens. So I agree with you, E. However, I cannot go against Patrick Mahomes. I think that Spagnuolo, who's probably the best defensive coordinator in the league, is going to expose Brock Purdy. He's going to take away the running game of McCaffrey and make Purdy try to beat him. I think Purdy forces the football. KC, low-key, has one of the best defenses in the league. And I think they exposed Purdy today, and they actually get a pretty convincing win. I'm thinking 28-17. I'm going to go ahead and put that down on record. You can bet your money 28-17. Go ahead and put that on your retirement plan so you can get paid. That's the score.
I'm trying to quit work, baby. I hope you're right.
All right. So I think what this comes down to is what defense comes to play. I think it comes down to KC's defense versus San Francisco's defense. If San Francisco can get enough stops, if they can get enough stops, I think they stay in the game. But 15 is a difference maker. Like that dude does now. Now I will say this: he has had moments where he makes some bonehead decisions too. He'll throw the ball up if you get enough pressure on him. What I just don't, the thing that I'm disappointed in, I'm not even gonna say I'm disappointed. I'm not disappointed in any shortcoming of the 49ers. But one of the things that they've hung their hat on is their defense. And over the past few games, their defense has been torched. All day have been torched. And we made all of these shots, we screamed when Chase Young went there. But he's done absolutely nothing since he's been there. So there's something to Washington getting rid of him. I didn't see it before, but I'm looking like, dude, you're non-existent. And so now if they don't get any kind of pressure on Mahomes at all, and if Pacheco can get off the way Detroit got off on them, yeah, that can be ugly. It can be real ugly. Like I'm going with KC for several reasons. One, I'm petty. Two, I just think right now they're playing the best football out of the 2 teams, and I'm just not sold on San Francisco's defense. A lot of times their defense, to me now, looks a lot like our defense. They yeah, I'm gonna say it. Once we got exposed, we were exposed, buddy, because we didn't just when we lost games, we got blown out.
Right.
Like we the only close game we had was against Philly, and other than that, every other team beat us by at least 2 scores. So it's yeah. So I just think
What happened in those games though? They ran against us.
They ran against us.
Philly was
And-
dumb. They were dumb, and they trying to pass the football and
Yeah.
away from the running game. So
yeah. And so the teams that have beat the teams that have had success against San Francisco lately, they run the ball. And the thing that happened to all of those teams, they got away from it and got cute trying to throw the ball later, which played into their hands. So we're gonna see. But I see KC should I think they should win by 2 touchdowns. I see 28. I see 28-14.
I agree with you, Coach. I think the back end on San Francisco defense, I think that's their weakness.
Trash.
I think yeah, exactly.
Trash.
Yeah, they trash.
Very horrible.
And that's what frustrates me about the Cowboys. If you know your game plan, if you know they back end is suspect, let's attack the back end. We don't do that. And that's what frustrates me about the Cowboys and their coaches and this organization. I mean, we do not make adjustments, and that shit is frustrating to me. I mean, we all coach, if you got teams that's even match, it's gonna be whoever makes the adjustment. It could be that one adjustment, but you have to make it. But we don't do that. We don't take advantage of what teams give us. We don't do it, man. And that's why I say all the time, these coaches in the NFL are overrated. They're overrated. They put this long play in. Man, that ain't number 46 power. That's all that is.
That's it.
That's
Just
all that is.
zip, zap, Z motion fly,
exactly.
X front door post,
Exactly.
YZ hitch on 3. Like what?
Yeah.
What is all of that? Like it's telling everybody what to do. But it's like look, that's old 46 power we used back. Like what is that?
Exactly. That's all it is. 46 power.
That ain't number count of 3. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
What are we doing here?
Oh man, so look, fellas, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna wrap this one up. I appreciate everyone for joining in. We're gonna come back. We're probably gonna start. I don't know how often we're gonna do this, but I'll get with these guys, and we will be back to talk about more Cowboy stuff. If you all put stuff in the comments for us, let us know what y'all want us to talk about. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we got basketball guys on here too. So
we got Kevin, definitely.
Kobe.
I coach basketball too. So and love women.
Yeah, Kobe.
We're gonna talk about the women's game versus the men's game too.
Matter of fact, Caitlin Clark is on right now.
So man, so look, must see TV. So until we meet again, we'll just say
hold on.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry.
Rod.
Wait.
Rod.
Yo.
You see that, right?
I won't go say that. I was gonna leave him alone. I won't go mess with him. I won't go mess with him. I won't
show your glasses, baby. You see it? I wore it just for you. I know this is a Cowboy podcast, but I wore this hat for you.
Okay.
Look, Kev don't like Kev can't stand the heels now. And then look, Kobe over there, he's a state guy. So, it is what it is. But I will say,
talking about state basketball.
Ew. Hey, man, y'all brothers enjoy the Super Bowl. Hey, y'all.
Hey, look.
Support us, people.
Yeah, support us, please, man.
Shout out to our sponsors, Roscoe's Chicken and Grits. Appreciate it.
Oh, man, I'm trying to tell you. Look.
8 Balls Pool Hall.
Yes, sir.
Junkyard towing. All right, good people.
Shout out to everybody that in 1984 was getting their fade haircut. No, also as a Travis Kelce.
Oh man! Oh look, that's another conversation.
That's another conversation.
That's another conversation.
Man, these folks need to cut that out, man. Come on, man.
Oh man,
they don't know.
He did say he stayed on business and said, "Nah, that ain't me." You know what I'm saying?
He did go back and change that shit, man. But, hey,
he didn't have no choice.
Lord.
That's how you
Until-
pull Taylor Swift with that crisp ass fade.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Look, we're gonna end on that note, but we will until next time we say one love and we'll see you when we see you.